video is a little late on from when it was done. I tried to do it earlier, but I got caught up with work. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience, I guess you could say, I had with the tactical games at the Ridgeline Training Institute, or Training Center in New Hampshire. I competed in the intermediate category, which I think was a good choice. And it was a 2-day event. I had a great time. Now, that being said, it did take me, I don't know, at least till I drove home from the event to say, yeah, I think I want to try to do another one. And I'm going to try to find one I can do here maybe this summer. But overall, it was a great event, well organized, well run. There seemed to be kind of a flow to it. I had a great squad. And yeah, overall, it was a fun time. A bit of type 2 fun, because there was a lot of pain involved with it. It hurts. I don't think it really matters how much you train, it's gonna hurt, and you gotta get comfortable with that. But overall, yeah, if you guys are thinking about doing one, give it a go. Super supportive crowd, helpful. Really nothing negative to say about it. My general impressions of the match and how it went. So I made, standard match mistakes. I forgot courses of fire, and one of the things that they don't tell you, or they do mention it, but it's kind of in passing, is if you're doing extra of the exercises because you forgot where you were, yeah, they don't stop you. They only stop you if you try to short them. So if you want to overpay in pain, they'll let you, and that bit me a couple different times. So I gotta get a little bit better about keeping track of what I'm doing, not just starting an exercise and hoping at some point I'll be done with it. So that was definitely something that caught me on 3 stages. But the overall physicality of it wasn't bad. You can count on a couple of different strength stages or matches where really it's about moving something very large. Some grindy kind of ones where it may not be hard, but you're just gonna be doing it for a while. And then an endurance event. So for our endurance event, we ran about 2.5 miles on dirt trails. And it was a lot of uphill. I mean, it's the mountains in New Hampshire. Full kit, rifle, plate carrier, pistol. We were empty on ammo. And that was it. And you ran. And that was your thing. You shot 2 different target engagements before that. And then you ran. So it was a relatively simple one for that one. Some of the strength ones were impressive. You've probably seen all different videos, and I have some videos of those. Overall, yeah, if you just train for it, I'd say you probably can't do enough sandbag work, and you definitely can't do enough stuff where you get your heart rate like just about at the red line and try to shoot just afterwards. So I recommend you try to do that if you can, just to help you get used to that, manipulating your weapon and that kind of stuff with a maxed out heart rate. Yeah, it was, again, such a blast. I'm going to go over the equipment I have. I don't have the pants that I was wearing there because, well, I ripped them while I was there. And yeah, I got to replace them, so no worries. But yeah, we'll go talk a little bit about the equipment, and I'll talk about what I would do differently and kind of my general experience with my one time doing this match with what I had. Yeah, so we'll get on to the equipment. Alright, so just talk a little bit about the gear. I'm going to start with rifle and pistol I use, magazine stuff. We'll talk about plate carrier, holster, belt system, and I'll try to put in what I might do differently and that kind of thing as we go here. So as far as rifles, I used a Daniel Defense M4 V7 lightweight. It has an 18-inch barrel. I got this for something different. I run an old school M68 aim point on it. It's been a rifle I've trained with a lot. I'm pretty comfortable with it. Extra 2 inches of barrel length was sort of a hindrance at times, especially when it was on my back and I was going under stuff or carrying stuff, but not enough that I'm thinking about, if I do another one, about swapping the upper receiver out. I just got used to it and I've slung my rifle a little bit lower. But again, it's not match quality, none of that stuff. Our farthest engagement was about 300 yards on IPSC targets. So the aim point, I was fine with that. I didn't run the magnifier or anything like that behind it, because I know I didn't need it. A lot of the engagements were between 25 and 100. So this seemed to work out just fine. I got a tack Taylor sling on it that's quick adjust. I think that's one of the best things you can do is if you get whatever you're running, get a good sling and get comfortable manipulating it, tightening it up, making it longer so you can move it around your body, and that will probably pay off huge. So for pistol, I just ran my 1911 for no other reason than, again, I'm doing this competition for fun, and I really enjoy shooting my 1911. So that's what I shot. It's a Rock Island Armory. I put a different slide on it. But overall, I had a great time shooting this pistol. I used Chip McCormick 10-round P power mags. I was at sometimes disadvantaged because some of the stages would call for 12 or 14 rounds depending on the stage. So I kind of had to have kind of paired up magazines. So I'd carry 1 and 2 magazines. 1 and 2 would be 10 rounds, and then 2 would be the excess I needed for that stage. And a couple times I actually just carried some loose bolt rounds in my pocket and would just hand load them into an empty mag. Because honestly, it's not reloading that's going to crush you on this one. It's the general overall of it. And sometimes it was nice just to take a breather and pump a couple rounds into the magazine. Not the most tactical thing, but it worked for me and it got me where I needed to go. So yeah, I have 4 of those. Actually I have 5. I left one in the basement. And that's my rifle and my pistol. A lot of guys were running 9mm, but again, just use what you got. I think it's the thing, get out there and compete, and don't get too wrapped up in all the race gun stuff, because again, you'll know what you need once you start doing it, right? So we'll move on to the plate carrier. So in my full-time life, I'm a Army medic and a medic for a couple of attack teams. So this is actually the plate carrier I use for that. I replaced it with a chest-mounted placard that can carry 4 M4 magazines. This is the Velocity Systems LE plate carrier, and it came in without mags, just around 16 pounds, so it's a little heavier than was required, but I wasn't going to monkey with it. Overall, I think it worked really, really well. Very happy with how the plate carrier carries. What I think I'm going to do though is I'm going to try to move off of the placard here with the magazines, because at times you're carrying stuff, picking up sandbags, and actually having the plates and the magazines put that center of balance out a little farther than I was used to, so it made it a little bit more difficult, or when you're rolling over a bar or something like that to get into your firing position. This stuff kind of hung up at times, so I think if I do another one, I'm going to order the Velocity Systems makes a replacement cummerbund that'll hold 2 magazines in here, and then I'll probably just have 2 on my belt as well. So that's really the only change I'll make to this. For my next one is I'm probably going to lose the placard and just going to get the cummerbund that'll hold a couple mags, because magazine changing speed wasn't a huge part of this. Again, you're so gassed coming out of all these different events that it's just, you gotta slow down and breathe anyway, so you're not like racing the clock kind of thing here to get the mags changed out. So not having them secure was incredibly important, because if you drop them, you have to either go get them or you lose the magazine completely, and then you can zero a stage because you don't have enough rounds to complete it. So having them secure is the key. And that, because I did drop a couple magazines and have to run back and pick them up. So like having them secure is definitely the big key for this event. Moving on to my belt. So this is a Gadsden Dynamics battle belt I bought a few years back. It has elastic keepers here that'll hold 2 pistol, 1 rifle. And this is kind of what I went with. It was just what I had. And what I found out is these just don't hold the magazines tight enough for rolling around and jumping and stuff. So I'm gonna have to find a different product or go with something different. I'm right now thinking about just going with a belt mounted some magazine holders, some nice hard plastic ones or something like that. Dump pouch, because you do have to, a lot of the stages you have to take all your stuff with you. So you have to be able to clean up everything. So having a nice big dump pouch is really handy. And this was basically the biggest one I could find, because it's nice just to be able to reach back there and throw 4 or 5 rifle magazines, as well as your pistol mags. And like for the running, I didn't have to wear my ear pro, so I threw that in there. So it's nice to have a big dump pouch. I think that would be that's definitely a sustain. So my pistol holster is a G-code. This is just single, or the tension, what the fuck do they call it? Tension retention. It just slides in. There's no extra things. I can just pull it out, and that worked just fine for all these events. I didn't have any issues. But what I am going to be looking at doing is getting rid of the drop leg. I thought it would be high enough up, but it turned out it wasn't, and it was definitely cumbersome and kind of a pain in the butt with all the running and stuff. So when I'm going to get the belt extension for this, so it'll just be right off my belt, so it'll be nice and high. And I think that's one of the big things, is really think about your stuff here, is how well can I run and jump and do all that stuff in it. So again, like the big changes I'd make really are the battle belt system. I'm probably going to go to a little heavier battle belt and pull stuff off my plate carrier, and with the intention of just keeping everything nice and smooth and slick in the front, so I can move through these obstacles. I'm going to be looking to carry probably 2 rifle mags on my belt, 2 in the cummerbund of my plate carrier. What I like about this plate carrier, and this worked out great, and I'm definitely going to do that again, is it has magazine retention spots right up top here, and it'll hold 4 little elastic keepers. And yeah, it worked really well. I'm very happy with that, because it's nice and flush, not a big problem. They're easy to get out. Again, we're not changing under fire here, so it worked out well. I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to have probably 2 on my belt, and then I'll be able to put 2 in the cummerbund setup when I get it. So I wore long pants. They were lightweight pants. I think they were like the Tech pants, and I ended up ripping them, so they're not out here. They were nice because they have a mag pocket in them, and I definitely think that's a good feature to have if you're looking at pants, is having a place where you can tuck a magazine or 2 just in case. Because again, some of the stages may be pistol heavy, and you don't need a lot of rifle mags, or vice versa. So you can always just kind of stick an extra one someplace, so you don't have to have as much crap on you. I wore a t-shirt, synthetic t-shirt underneath my plate carrier, and it wasn't too bad overall. A lot of the stages you can choose how you shoot, so it'll be fire however many rounds from this yardage line at these targets. And I chose to shoot prone a lot because I'm just trying to get hits, and I'm not looking for anything fancy. So it got a little rough sometimes getting into the gravel and all that stuff. But at the same time, having long sleeves because I was pretty hot, probably would have been uncomfortable. The last couple things, get yourself a good set of ballistic glasses, especially ones that don't fog. So for this event, I actually used Revision. I think these are the Shadow Strikes, and I can swap out the lenses for clear or vermilion, depending. I ran clear most of the time. They didn't fog up even when I was doing all the running and lifting, because you have to have eyewear on. So make sure your stuff doesn't fog, because that can be a huge pain in the butt. And then I just used my old standby Pelletors that I've had for going on 10 years. I got a lot of miles on them. Maybe not the best, because they did get a little hot on some of the stages, but it's what I had. And I'll be using these again at the next one. That's generally the equipment I wore. Oh, footwear. So I brought 2 sets of shoes with me for this. For the running stage, I actually wore trail running shoes. They're Ultra Lone Peaks, and they worked out great for that stage. And all the other stages I actually wore the Sportiva Approach shoes. They have stickier rubber, and they're nice narrow profile, so I'm a little more nimble in them. And that seemed to work out just fine as well. But they don't really tell you what you need to wear on your feet. I guess I would recommend that whatever they are, be comfortable, and make sure they're capable of running in them with your plate carrier and all your extra weight. I didn't wear gloves. I normally never do unless I absolutely have to. and didn't seem to be an issue. I did get some cuts and stuff on my hands, but I just taped them up at night for the next day. That's about it. Well, yeah, guys, get out there and do one. They are a blast. People are super friendly, and the equipment, if you have everything, just get out there and do it. It's so much fun.
Oh, that bad boy is now ripping right along. It's burning here. I think it might be time to flip it over. Oh yeah. Yeah. The beer I'm having is a New England IPA, Pretentious Hopper. It's from Reckless Brewing, which is actually not very far away from where I'm camping here in Bethlehem, New Hampshire. It's quite a good beer, actually. I think I'll be enjoying the rest of those tonight. And just relaxing by the fire here soon enough. Alright, so day 2 of the tactical games. I didn't really get much video yesterday because I was kind of just struggling to exist. But I'll get some video, probably not of me, because that's nothing anyone here wants to see, but of probably the elites doing the stages, so we can kind of see what they're expecting of it. It's hard. This is a pretty serious workout. The shooting's great. So, day 2. I'm feeling pretty sore today.
Nice work, man. Nice work, baby. 7 minutes. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes. That was so much fun.
Thank you so much for checking out this video on the tactical games. I hope it was informative and helps you prepare better for when you give it a go. I can't say enough great things about it, though. I had a blast. I was sore for like 3 days. I didn't get video of my wife Crystal laughing at me trying to get down the stairs the next day, but you know, whatever. That's still a good time. I had a blast. Again, such a great crowd and just an awesome event. So if you can, get out there, give one a go. And again, hopefully you found some of this information useful. You can totally hit me up in the comments if I missed something that you're interested in. I can hopefully give you some feedback on it. And don't forget to subscribe and definitely give it a like.